And are you Ms. Goodwin?
Yes.
All right. Did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Are you the same Katrina Goodwin who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2017 CR 3456W for the offense of theft of property less than $200,000 on May 15, 2017 for a period of 5 years and extended for a total of 5 years? Is that you?
Yes, Judge, that was me.
All right, state.
Yes, Judge. State is alleging that violation of condition number 2 on or about the 6th day of January 2025 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Katrina Goodwin, did then and there illegally use a controlled substance, namely amphetamines, in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
Just changed everything. What does it mean when someone admits to violating probation? Well, it gives the court full authority to revoke it entirely, and the stakes now jump to a potential 10-year sentence.
True, Your Honor.
The state will waive and abandon the remaining violation, Your Honor.
No objection, Your Honor.
Just one moment. All right, I think the judgment needs to be corrected. We can go off the record. The judgment needs to be corrected. The judgment puts this as a second-degree felony, but she pled to a third-degree felony. So just one moment. This was before my time. All right, Adriana, the judgment on this needs.
The judge is confirming the defendant fully understands the consequences. This isn't just legal formality. This is the judge saying, you realize you could lose your freedom today, right?
To be changed to reflect that it's a third-degree felony. Here. All right, we are back on the record. So you entered a plea of true to violation of condition number 2. Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 10 years in the prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2?
Yes.
Court will find violation of condition number 2 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is, Judge.
Yes.
That agreement is to continue probationer on probation, but the state is recommending, in line with the probation's recommendation, a 1-year extension, weekly reporting, and weekly UAs for the first 30 days.
All right, thank you.
Yes, Judge.
All right, so Ms. Goodwin, I don't think you're a good candidate for probation. And let me explain to you why.
That's the moment the judge makes it crystal clear. She's out of second chances. You can hear it in her voice. Disappointment mixed with finality. What do you think? Should repeat violations automatically end probation, or should addiction be treated differently?
This is not your first time with a motion to revoke. It doesn't appear that there's anything else that can be done to help you. I understand that drug addiction is very difficult to conquer, and you have to stay vigilant. But when people give you the tools that you need and you just don't use them, that's a problem. So I don't think you are a good candidate for probation, and I'm not going to continue you on probation. So I'm going to grant the motion, find you guilty, and revoke. Counsel, did you want to speak to years? Because she's been on probation since 2017.
Correct. She has completed the successfully Take Peach program, and judge has also done the 90-day jail sanction. So she has some back time. But we're asking for the minimum 2 years because she was hoping to get, of course, continued with the objective of paying the rest of the restitution. That's why there's asking for extension of a year.
4 years in prison and nearly $7,000 in restitution. This isn't just punishment. It's a long, steep climb back to redemption. And that restitution goes to U-Haul. Yes, the moving company. That gives you a hint about the original crime.
But without that, then we will ask for the minimum 2 years.
And probation, what's the amount of restitution?
Outstanding amount of restitution at this time is $6,977.11.
And who does that restitution go to? All right, the court, as previously stated, is going to grant the motion, revoke, find you guilty, give you credit for any time served, credit for any time in any successful completion of inpatient treatment. There's to be restitution of $6,977.11 to U-Haul. The therapeutic community, the court will sentence you to 4 years in the prison. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? And did you sign it?
Yes.
You do have a limited right to appeal, and that right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you were on community supervision. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. We can only do so much, right? The therapeutic community is a good program, but you're going to have to request it. I have no jurisdiction to force them to place you in the program. Once you're released from prison, if you can't find a place that can help with your drug addictions, if I'm still here, you can come back here and I'll find a place for you, okay? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Very cute.
Yes. All right, the court is calling 2025 CR 002709, State versus Glenn Lorenzo White. Could I have parties announced, please?
Rick Pena for the state of Texas.
Bob Roebuck for Glenn White.
And are you Mr. White?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you entered a plea of no contest on May 27th. According to your plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 6 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine, affirmative finding of deadly weapon. This is to run concurrent with 2025 CC 005111, and there's an affirmative finding of family violence. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report? State,
Yes, Your Honor.
defense,
Yes, ma'am.
any objections?
No.
State,
I'm from the state.
No
Defense.
objection.
all right. Any witnesses from either side?
No.
Any witnesses?
None from the state.
All right, then, state. Let me see, I believe you may be opposed. Just 1 moment.
I was silent, Your Honor.
All right, you're solid. All right, you may be excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, counsel, I'll hear your argument.
Judge, Mr. White's had some issues in the past. He said it's different this time. He spent time in jail. It's helped him develop a new outlook. He told me he's going to follow your instructions. If you give him probation, he'll never be back here again. We like the recommendations, the probation, the outpatient treatment, weekly drug testing. He's had a drug problem. He needs to address that.
Mhm.
Also, the 180-day jail sanction is a good idea. We're in agreement with all of that.
All right, so, Mr. White, is there anything you want to say?
Yes, ma'am.
You want to raise your,
The defendant admits he was swinging 2 tomahawks near the victim while high and angry. Imagine being in that courtroom. Do you feel fear, sympathy, or something else?
right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record, please.
My name is Defendant Lorenzo White.
All right, what did you want to say?
I was saying that I made a mistake in my life when I lost control.
All right, so here's the thing. Are these mistakes or are these choices?
No, it was really a mistake.
Why do you say it's a mistake?
Because I don't know, I just lost it at that moment.
Well, no,
I got really angry and stuff.
no, here's the thing. You picked up a hatchet, right?
It was Tomahawk.
Okay, you picked up 2 tomahawks. Did you think it was something else? Or did you know it was a tomahawk?
No, it was Tomahawk. I just grabbed them and I wasn't thinking.
All right, so you grab 2 tomahawks. And according to this, it's with this Monique Gant,
Yes,
someone that you've used drugs with. I don't know why you all are still together because I've read the PSI report and you have 2 children, younger children. You don't even know where they are because you were using drugs. She was using drugs. You didn't get your life together with CPS. And your rights ended up being terminated. And you're still with this person. So according to this, it says, because I want you to tell me where the mistake is. Victim stated that suspect, that's you, arrived at the location to charge his car battery. Suspect saw victim's car and went inside the house to take groceries that the victim bought. Suspect put 2 hatchets on victim's car. Suspect then grabbed a pole that was on the ground and tore through victim's taped up window and attempted to grab things from her vehicle. Suspect then grabbed the 2 hatchets and was swinging them around, approaching victim, coming within 5 feet of victim. Victim stated that suspect said, "I'm going to cut this bee," and noticed witness standing behind her. Victim stated that suspect walked to the neighbor's house and dropped off the 2 hatchets at the neighbor's house.
A lot of that's not true. I went to my mom's house. That was my mom's house. And I went
So
to-
why would you try to take groceries from the vehicle?
I didn't take no groceries from the vehicle.
Well, I mean, she said you cut through her window. I'm assuming the window
Yeah,
was,
so I picked up the little pipe thing, and it had plastic on the window, and I like tore it open.
Why?
I was intoxicated too, so.
all right. Here's the thing, Mr. White. I don't think you'll be a good candidate for probation. And let me just tell you why. You've been on probation before. You have a theft case that you were convicted of. Then you have a criminal mischief that you were convicted of. Then you have an assault case that you were convicted of. This started in the 80s. And then you have another criminal mischief that you were convicted of. Then you have another assault case, they say dismissed for insufficient evidence. It's probably dismissed because the complainant didn't want to go forward with it. Then you had a possession of marijuana, and I realized it's marijuana, but you were placed on probation for that, and your probation was revoked. Then you had another assault, and now we're in the 2010s. You had another assault, and you were given probation, and your probation was revoked. Then now you have a violation of bond or protective order, which I'm assuming is related somehow to this incident. Then you had an aggravated robbery case that was rejected. I'm not even considering that because it's rejected. I don't know why it was rejected. Then you had dealing cocaine. You were sentenced to state jail facility. Then you had another dealing cocaine and you were sentenced to prison. Then you had a burglary with intent to commit theft by force, and you received 15 years for that. And then you had another manufacturing delivering. You did time for that. Then you had an aggravated robbery. It was dismissed for missing witness, injury to the elderly, dismissed, missing witness. And now you're here before me. How old are you?
I'm going to be 62 years old.
All right. So I don't think you're a good candidate for probation.
Can I say something?
Sure.
See, I've changed my life. My mom got sick now. I'm old too.
The judge is laying out decades of convictions, revoked probations, and violent charges. It's like a rap sheet on steroids. But what do you think at 62 years old? Is there still a chance for rehabilitation?
I don't know if I had that much time left in my life. I really want to see my mom. She's in her 80s. If I go away, she will pass away. That's all I have in my life is my mom.
All right. So here's my question for you. And I'm not trying to be cruel, but you knew about your mom. Why would you do this? Knowing about your mom?
Well, my mom just got sick recently since I've been locked up.
Mm-hmm.
I was just here started since I got locked up. She's been in the hospital in and out about 4 or 5 times. She had a minor heart attack.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to be like this.
Well, I mean, these are things we need to consider, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. This is what the court is going to do. The court is finding you guilty. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon, affirmative finding of family violence. The court will sentence you to 5 years in the prison. Give you credit for any time served. This is to run concurrent with 2025 CC 005111. There's an affirmative finding of family violence, and there's to be no contact with Monique Gant, Gant, and the court will recommend the therapeutic community. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence and also a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing, Mr. White. Your history doesn't look good, right? And sometimes I look at that, right? And I have to look at that because I have to consider everything. And so I'm looking at your history, and your offense is escalated. And then you have different issues where you are placed on probation, your probation gets revoked. You're given parole, you don't do well on parole. And I will tell you, I've done parole hearings before, and parole is so much easier than probation is. Because parole is sort of, in a way, it's sort of like college. And this is the best way I can explain it. When you're in public school and you're not in college yet, everybody is telling you everything to do. This is your class for today. That's what probation does. When you get on parole, what they do is they don't tell you, you need to do this, this, and this. They just give you a sheet of paper. You have your freedom. And on parole, if you report, call them whenever they want you to call and do a drug test and get employment, they're happy. They're satisfied. So for you to have the parole issues that you've had, that tells me a lot. But I'm recommending the therapeutic community for you. The therapeutic community will help you when your parole time comes up, because they're going to see that you are actually doing something to try to help you with your drug addiction. Because when people are looking at whether or not to place you on parole, and I've done parole packets for my clients in the past too, they want to know, if they place you on parole, is this a person who's not going to commit any more offenses? So you need to be working on a plan. Like, I'm going to be doing sober support meetings. This is where I'm going to be doing them. This is where I'm going to be living. I'm going to be stable. This is how I'm showing you that I'm going to be stable. That's what you'll need to do for them, okay? All right, good luck to you, sir.
Good luck. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.